Welcome to the Dice Tower, a series of videos about games and the people who played them. And now, here are your hosts, Tom and Holly Vasel.
Say it nice and loud.
Welcome to the Dice Tower!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a lot of views on the last week's show. Not about the game room as much as about the last 4 or 5 seconds of the show. And it made me think a little bit about my position here. This is a bit of a background show and not so much about gaming, but a bit about how I use gaming and what I do. And there's several aspects in which I do that. I'm a missionary. I'm a pastor here in South Korea. For those of you who haven't known that, I pastor Weejumbu Baptist Church here. And I use games in church occasionally, a little bit. I also use games on the bases around here, the American military bases, the posts. And I run a weekly game night on one of the posts and a monthly game night on another one where I get a lot of the games done. However, a good portion of my gaming is done because almost 10 years ago, my wife and I married a beautiful, wonderful wife, and lo and behold, out of that, so far, has come 5 girls. Still waiting for the boy. My wife is pregnant. In another month, she'll have our 6th child, which will be yet another girl. But for now, I have a pile of girls. Here are my 5 girls at this point in time. This is Melody, the oldest. Then I got Amy. All of you know Holly right here. And then I got Claire over here. And then the youngest right now, which is Violet. Now, how do you go playing games with 5 kids? Let me show you a bit of his like. Okay, guys, if we could play one game right now, what do you want to play?
That blue.
That blue game? You don't even know what game that is.
Yes?
Oh, the sliders game? Sorry, sliders? Okay, and so she'll say that, and Melody will pick a different game, and Holly will pick a different game, and the other 2 don't even know what's going on. Now, this child here is a gamer's mortal enemy. She is the destroyer of games. She will get into games. She will rip the cards up. She will take the pieces out. She will swallow pieces. She will throw dice away. And she will smile the entire time. I love her. But she is only allowed in this game room when she is like this, where she can barely move. So she doesn't play many games. Then there's Clara. Oh! Now, Claire doesn't play many games either, because Claire doesn't know what's going on. She can play some simple games. In fact, simple 2-year-old games will often attract her, and does pretty well at that. So these 2 are out of the picture. So these are the 3 people that I play games with the most, and they all have different variety of tastes. They all don't have the same favorite game. Show them your favorite games. Okay? Melody's favorite game, Monopoly Tycoon. Amy's favorite game, if she shows the right way, is Sorry Sliders. And Holly's favorite game, which is in Korean here, is Los Mampos, which is, of course, as a 5-year-old would love, about donkeys eating and donkeys pooping. So, lots of fun and games there. But you know, interestingly enough, these are their 3 favorite games. You did not see me bringing out Command and Colors Ancients and ETI, Estimated Time for Invasion, and Agricola, and Puerto Rico, because I think it's great to teach kids games. Melody is learning all kinds of new games. She's played Dominion, she's played Carcassonne, she's can play Ticket to Ride, but I really firmly believe in letting kids play kids games, and we have a lot of them. Now these are our shelves here. I have a lot of shelves in my game room, but I have 2 that are dedicated for kids games. Now they're not 100% kids games, and I'm not saying that these games sometimes aren't pulled out and played with adults, but there's a lot of games in this. You can see there's a lot of hobby games, and girls, a lot of these are your favorite games, right?
Yes.
And we have several games here that you like, and we can look around and you can point out ones that you like and which ones here on this shelf is your favorite.
I like Casa Alfredo.
Oh, Casa Alfredo, that's right. It's a mechanical game. And really, I try to have a whole pile of variety of games that work with memory, games that work mechanical skills, games that help with counting, games that help with some strategy. And there's even some games like, for example, you'll see there, Change Horses. Change Horses is not marketed as a kid's game at all, but as soon as I played it, I said, this is a game that I will like best when played with kids. This is a game that I will enjoy with them. Bouncing Aliens, that's marketed as an adult strategy game, but it's one I think that kids would enjoy better. And with kids, there's a lot less snobbetry. You can see there's Ants in the Pants right next to a game that many people haven't heard of, Oodles. So there's a lot of kids' games that we have to pick between. Now, it's a fine line that people cross when it comes to board games and kids. You're going to find some folks who insist that their kids like their hobbies. And that's just not the way it's going to be. My father is a huge sports fan. Loves, well, especially baseball. Loves watching baseball. Loves all the stats. Likes watching and playing football and playing sports outside and basketball. While I like baseball itself, and I like sports to some degree, never did I really enjoy them the way my father did, but I did enjoy them with him. He did not make me play sports all the time or do sports, but he did require that I do it sometimes, and I enjoyed it to the degree that he pushed me into it. Well, I don't expect my kids to necessarily like and love board games. Now, some will. These two are the ones most interested in it. Melody loves board games, and Holly at least pretends that she loves board games. And so these are the two that I play the most with, but we do have family game night. What night is that? What night should it be?
Thursday.
Every Thursday night, or at least every Thursday night that we manage to get free, we say is the family game night. And we let a different kid pick out which game they want to play. And then we all try to get them to play. Now, Violet usually runs around the floor, and we have to watch, don't drop any pieces. But Melody usually can play one of the players, Amy and Holly, depending on the level of the game. If the game's harder, then Holly or Clara will be on Mommy or Daddy's team. And that's how we play the game. And like I said, I'm really pushing them to play these games. Yeah, sure, I wouldn't mind if they grew up and Melody, one of her favorite games, became Duel of Ages or Descent or Puerto Rico or such, and we could play these games at a high strategic level. But I'm finding that kids' games are for kids. And so why push them into this heavy gaming, which they may or may not like, and just let them have fun with the games? And if they want to play the board games with us, well, then so be it. A lot of people ask me and say, how do you have so much time to do everything you do? It's because I try to keep it combined. Why is board gaming my hobby as opposed to computer games, as opposed to music? I'm telling you, because board gaming lets you involve the whole family. And there's always the right game for the right group. And so there are family games. My wife is never going to be interested in playing a war game. She's never going to be interested in playing an 8-hour Twilight Imperium game. And I don't care. I'm just glad that she finds some games interesting, like Ticket to Ride and Carcassonne. And those are games we can play with one another. My kids are the same way. I'm just looking for games that I think they will enjoy and that we can play together. And we have a lot of fun. Will any of them become diehard gamers? Well, Melody says she is, but Melody's only 8. Pretty soon she'll be 13, and she'll pretend that she doesn't love me anymore and doesn't want to play games anymore. And then I'll start working on the next ones. But, you know, gaming is fun, and it brings the family together, but it's not even remotely as important as a family is. I use gaming as a tool and as something to bring our family together. And we have a lot of fun doing it. This game room is one that the kids come to, and we have a great time, and we even bring Violet in and let her play with my piece drawer, and she pulls out the pieces and plays around them. I want to make this a fun room that our family comes together. Yeah, every once in a while, Dad comes in this room with his friends, and we play a game, and the kids kind of come and just watch out, and then they get bored and they leave. But gaming should involve my family. If it doesn't, then I don't want a game. And so that's why I have my kids on the show with me here, too, because we'd like to talk about board games, but we want to do it together as a family. And so Holly doesn't even know what we're talking about half the time. But she will, and she'll learn. And I firmly believe that games are an educational experience. But that's not why I do it. We do it because they're fun. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for visiting the Dice Tower.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.